So, good evening, everybody, and welcome along to the last Friday night live stream of 2021, heading towards 2022. Just a big hi to everybody that's in the room. So we got Andy GSA Tractor in, Simon GTR can't make it tonight. He's out partying with the family. Hell's on Two Wheels here. Hi, AB. Anonymous Biker is here, and Gareth's here from Burning Gas, Hauling Gas. And without further ado, all the way up, the guy we're going to meet up with in June is the man himself, Mr. Zhead from Scotland. Evening, Stu.
Good evening. How's things?
Yeah, good. Suffering a little bit of a tickly cough today. The wife's in bed. She's got it as well. I've got it. And don't worry, it's not COVID, hopefully. But, we are all sorted tonight. So I've got the obligatory glass of wine with me. And I've also got myself a bottle of VK as well. So
I've got some nice Czech lager.
Oh, decent.
Budvar.
The Budvar, the proper stuff.
Yeah.
Even Wibbly, Ayrshire Vlogs is here. So have posted up the link if you want to come and join us in the live stream. I'm going to post it up one more time. If you want to jump on. Now, obviously, we was out today, met up with Simon and Andy GSA Tractor, and we're trying to sort it out for the first weekend of June. So we've got to figure out where everybody lives in Scotland. I think Burning Gas Hauling Gas is it out by Glasgow near you, Stu?
Falkirk. No, Gareth and Falkirk.
That's not far, is it?
No, it's not.
Brilliant.
I think it was Andy that went and he messaged me in one of my videos that I put out, just saying about was it the 4th and the 5th? You said.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be ideal. I'm sure the likes of Ayrshire Vlogster that's on just now. I mean, Ayrshire Vlogster obviously runs Basic Bikers, so I'm sure these boys will get in tow as well as Lockwood and that. So we'll get a good group of guys together and we'll show you some of the roads in around our area.
Brilliant. And just joining us in the stream, full sunglasses and looking very dapper tonight is Mr. Hell's on Two Wheels.
Yes, yeah.
What's up?
Sunglasses.
Well, he's got better weather over there than we have over here, anyway.
I don't know. It's kind of gloomy today. Overcast, but it's warm. We're in like high 60s to 70s, so
that's not bad. I was watching Stevie earlier coming down that mountain again. It was like, oh Jesus, you've got the tunes banging away there. I was like, oh, public domain, know that tune.
Short.
I know, yeah. I did watch the other one. He actually saw a moose. It was like, yeah, moose time.
But, yeah, we're getting ready to party, man. It's gonna be
excellent.
Everybody be hanging on to the old Instagram because I don't know. It might get to the point you might see my mugshot by the end of the night. So
definitely. Just say hi to Code Grace and Code Grey. Stevie's here actually. Happy New Year, boyos! Yeah, great feed earlier, Stevie. Loving those tunes.
Definitely, must have cracked open the first can by now.
Well, he did say he was going to the what was it? The Ace Liquor. I think he said Arse Liquor somewhere. But. Ayrshire Vlogs are hoping to be out tomorrow. Hopefully, yeah, we're going to try and see if we can get a run in this weekend. Probably the last one of the first one of 2022. So, quick hi to Rev Zed and the Cool Hells. Happy New Year, Boo Rider. Evening, Boo. Put the link up one more time if anybody wants to come and join us in the sidetrack while I'm coughing away here like a loon. Quite welcome to sort of jump in on the stream and tell us what you've been up to this week. What you've been up to, Stu?
Getting the battery out the bike, just ready for a run. So I needed a wee bit of a refresh. Bike's been sitting for a little while, so I just thought I would get it out. You know, the battery has to be tip top, as you well know, in a 1400 to be able to throw that engine over. So
exactly,
as soon as the voltage drops below a certain level, it just won't crank. So yeah, it's all about keeping it as fresh as possible.
So yeah, Andy was on. I was doing a WhatsApp call with Andy earlier. He's got a little bar at the bottom of his garden in the shed, and I was like, he's been drinking since about 12 o'clock. But come and join us when you're ready, Andy.
He's
15 tomorrow. Taps off over. I'm sure I'll get a tan. Yeah, well, that's pretty good temperature for Scotland. So doing all right. But yeah, we've had a couple of good ones this week. Obviously, we were closed over Christmas, but we were in Wednesday, Thursday. Boss was in today. I did a Thursday at the garage and done my 1 day, but I've now got 4 days off, so I'm going to make the most of it. No doubt the boss will pop in on the live stream and say his hellos. But yeah, it's looking good for next year, especially with this tour coming up. But obviously, we're leaving it all to Andy that's going to sort it out. I'm going to sort out the hotel, see if we can get something out of Premier Inn on the way up. So hopefully, there's a couple of Premier Inns near Glasgow that we can stay at.
Yeah, there's plenty, I think.
Excellent.
Depends where you want to stay. I mean, like in and around Glasgow Airport and whatever, you'll definitely get a Premier Inn. And then from Glasgow Airport to Loch Lomond, you're 20 minutes.
Oh, that's all right.
So
nice, easy run, yeah.
Yep, you're just on the M8 over the Erskine Bridge into Balloch, and then that's you. It's all fun from there.
Oh, excellent. Because I think we're all going to look to come up on the Friday, which is probably about the 3rd. I'm going to stay over the weekend, but obviously one of our girls has got a holiday booked for 2 weeks, so I can't do the full 6 days. So I'm going to do about 4 days and just make my own way back. And then Simon and Andy and the rest of the boys are going to do the NC 500. So
excellent.
But I'm sure they'll have a bit of time with you up there. So yeah, all good. Teabags out at the minute. I don't know what military's up to, but Teabags out at the minute. So a couple more joining us in the room. Happy New Year, chaps, from Aprilia SRGT. Good to see you in the room, mate. And there's loads of people joining us on the stream. I say the side chat's open. If you want to come and join us on the stream, I've got loads of room on the stream if anybody wants to come and join us. Weston's in the room as well. Good to see you, Weston. There was one I was watching the other day. Obviously, Hell's your one with I think it was Crystal that was doing the video in over your shoulder. But oh god, your videos just get better and better. It's like I just sit back and just sitting there. I was just sat with a glass of wine, just watching the ride. I'm like, damn that scenery.
Well, what was funny is like the last one we had a commenter. He's just like, "Hey, can we like just more the misses, like just forget everything else and just put more of the misses up?" Like, we're working on that in 2022. We'll get you some more of the misses. Whatever. But hey, yeah, I just wanted to get on here because we've been traveling and this is a day that I'm not traveling, so I wanted to get on and talk to you guys. I finally got my bike back and got to ride it.
Really? Brilliant. Quick one. Paul's in the room. Happy New Year to you, Paul. Yeah, come and join us on the stream, Paul. You're very welcome to jump on and join us. Exeter's in the room as well, so he's going to be in and out. I should have been on double time. I wish. We normally, because last year we decided we were going to open, because normally we shut for 10 days over Christmas, and we had a little bit of a conflab last year, and I said, yeah, we'll do sort of 2 on 1 off, and so it was my turn to do 2 days on, 1 day off last year. But obviously, I did my 1 day on this year because I had 2 days off and 1 day on this year. But we alternate it so that not everybody is in over the Christmas. But thinking it would be quiet, and no chance of it. It was absolutely bloody mental again over Christmas. The amount of broken bikes that we had, and then to top it all off, now you should know this, Stu. We had a guy come in for an MOT, small reg plate on the rear, instant failure.
Yep, absolutely.
He'd got a Danamoto can on it, and I looked at it, and it got Yoshimura label, and I went, When I actually Googled, because it had got Danamoto stamped all over it, Danamoto were MotoGP cans. I said, no, that's a failure. That's a loud exhaust.
Yep, it's a race can.
Yeah, but he'd got a Yoshimura label over the part where it says track use only.
Yeah.
And obviously you cannot peel a label off an exhaust to check the details underneath. So I said to him, I can't check it, but I know where it is. Oh, and then he had a little bit of a whinge on Facebook. And he went, my exhaust failed for a loud can. And someone said, no, they changed the law. And I went, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
It used to be over 82 dB was an advise. But But
here's
obviously,
here's a question for you. You know the stainless steel straps that go around the cans. Sometimes they stamp the EU labeling on that.
that's it. Yeah.
You can buy a pair of them on eBay for like 10 quid. So you can buy like race cans and just put them on it. Because they sell you them with the straps and the rivets, you know.
Yeah, but most MOT testers know what a can is on a bike. So
yeah, absolutely.
if it's not got a baffle on, instant failure. But this one, I said to him, I said, no, you're gonna have to put a stand. And then obviously one of our old mechanics that was on the Facebook page, he actually went in. He said, no, he said a bike now must have a legal exhaust, and if you've got an aftermarket exhaust, it must have the same noise as an equivalent of the same bike with the standard exhaust on.
Rev, tell me this. Obviously, this will relate to Drew as well. It's like, what if a Harley comes in? What's the noise levels with that? Obviously, a lot of their cans are louder by nature.
We get a lot of Harleys and Indians come in, and we had one where he literally got straight through pipes on it. But it was the standard stock Harley pipes that were just straight throughs. And he went, he said, I know it's loud and it does backfire a lot. And I went, nah, it's an advice. And he went, really? I said, yeah. I said, because it is the hard, that pipe is designed for that bike.
Yeah.
And it's stamped all over with Harley Davidson. As long as it's got the HD logo on it, it's a pass and advise for a loud pipe.
Obviously, the certification part comes when Harley are importing them in. The UK must have some sort of exemption for the exhaust noise for that brand of bike.
But if it's because obviously my Ninja, I've got that debaffled Micron on it, and that is a failure item every time. Yeah. But I've got the original Kawasaki exhaust, so all I do is just fail it with a loud exhaust, put the new can on, test it again, and then as soon as I get home, put my race can back on. But the coppers are now starting to chuck 3 points on a bike. So if you get caught with a loud exhaust now, it's 3 points and 60 quid.
See, when I bought my ZZR, it had a set of Beowulf tri-oval cans on it, and the DB killers were under the seat. So the guy who sold me the bike, or the dealership that sold me the bike, that's where I take my bike every single year. And the decibel killers have never been out the underside of the seat. And if he fails me for it, he's got a cheek because he sold me it like that. And he's a Kawasaki dealership. So
you see, I've got the Delkovich on mine. I've got a single Delkovich.
Yeah.
But I run it with a baffle out. But obviously for MOT purposes, the baffle's in my side pannier, so I just pop it back in one bolt, and then as soon as I'm done, hook it back out again.
Well, last year due to COVID, I wasn't able to take it to my normal dealership, and just out of the respect for the dealer that I did take it to, I did put them in, I must admit. But even at that, he's like, I said, nah, you're nowhere near. Even with them out, it wouldn't be near. So that was golden.
Couple of quick ones. Nitro's in the room. Evening, Rory. Good to see you in. We had. This is going back about sort of 4 months ago. And the guy had got a full titanium system on it. And I said to him, I said, that is so near the limit. And he went, oh, is that? I said, you've got baffle in. He went, oh yeah. He said, but it's a $2,500 custom made titanium exhaust. And he said that was actually made for the bike. And I went, yeah, I'm not going to argue about that. You know, if you're going to go and spend sort of $2,500 on an exhaust system, then fair dues. But if you're going to go and put a 70 quid slip on with no baffles in it, you know it's going to fail. So,
aye, an Akrapovich from Wish.
Yeah, there's so many of these cheap exhaust out, like the Yoshimura copies and the Akrapovich copies, and you get that's another one. Yeah, Western should brought up a good system. The Terminogis, know, it's got an advisory between a set put DB killers in. Yeah, a lot of the Ducatis have got those on, and you can't. You know, they are so loud when they rev up, but it's a pass with an advisory for a loud pipe. But the government and VOSA are really coming down on people now doing modifications on their bikes.
Yeah,
because there was one on the one of the questions that someone had asked on one of the Facebook pages, and he said, "Oh, I've just had a lowering kit put on my ZZR, peg lowering," but he said I'm actually modifying it from standard. So you know, is that going to be a failure item? It's like, not really, because as long as you've got a foot peg on it, you know, you could have short legs. It's like putting a lowered seat on an Africa Twin or a BMW GS.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, it starts getting ridiculous. I mean, like you know yourself, a lot of bike, you fit rear sets on them or whatever it is. I mean, they've got to come and go within reason. I know my friend comes over from Switzerland, and he's got like a vintage bike. I think it's like, I can't remember what it is, but it's about 1984 or something like that. And when he is buying spare parts, the spare parts have to be from that year. He can't put any parts newer. He can put older parts on, but he can't put any newer parts on because that's seen as a modification. And when he changes the part over, he has to retest the bike as well. They're very, very stringent over there.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Do you get a lot of that? Because I don't know how they do it in America. Hells, do they do like yearly testing on bikes, or?
You're supposed to get a inspection on it, but 99% of us don't do it.
I think we'll all move to America and just run standard bikes.
Yeah, most of us are riding down the road with zip tied, duct tape, and whatever bikes together. We don't care. We death traps, man.
I saw something on YouTube the other day, and it was a police stop, and he stopped a guy, and his car didn't have any front doors on it. And the police said, "Why are you running your car with no front doors?" And he says, "Well, mine fell off, so we just ripped the other one off."
Yeah, but you get a lot of the obviously the Jeeps that have got the removable doors. So how would you turn up for an MOT and you got no doors? Oh yeah, it come like this, you know.
Oh, but yeah, over here, man, it's like they're more stringent about cars than they are motorcycles with everything. Like there's no decimal levels. Basically, when you get inspection, it's like kind of like a car. Are your tires good? Are your brakes good? Does what lights work? All right, see you later. It don't matter that the turn signals are put on by electrical tape, but as long as they work, we're good.
Let me just put the link up. I think Andy's going to come and join us in the room. So let me links up again there for you, Andy. If you want to come and jump in on the room, so I'm just trying
she looked over here and she's like, "Yeah, that's accurate." I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's probably why everybody looks at us like we're crazy because we don't have all the rules for licensing. We don't have all the rules for the motorcycles. You can build one out of spare parts and ride it down the road. Like,
yeah, Weston's just brought up a very, very good question actually, because if you buy a new motorcycle or a new car in the UK, you can do 3 years without having your car inspected. But what's to say after the first or second year that you're not going to have a fault with it?
Yeah, I mean that's a valid point, but when you get a bike MOT'd, what's to say it's a failure the next day as well? It's only as relevant as the day it was tested.
The day it was tested, yeah.
So I mean, I'd imagine that rule's in place because obviously a lot of manufacturers will have a 3-year warranty on their parts, so they're expecting that anyone that has a brand new bike is going to get it repaired under warranty anyway. So the maintenance schedule will make sure that the bike's roadworthy.
See, most people should be doing maintenance on their bikes on a sort of weekly basis or monthly basis anyway, just doing the bolt checks around the bike. Yeah. We had one come in a couple of months ago, and he said, I've got this whining noise coming from the back wheel. And I'm like, all right, it was a scooter.
It was the wife.
Yeah, like the wife on the back, yeah. But we had it in and obviously checked all the free play on it, and I got hold of the back wheel and I was like, and I said to him, when was the last time you checked your wheel nuts? And he went, what do you mean? I said, you sent a wheel nut that holds your wheels on. It's right, because it's got a nylock nut on it.
Yeah.
I said, but you're meant to be checking that on a monthly basis. And he went, oh, I've never checked the bike since I've ridden it. Well, how long you had the bike? About 1.5 years. And his nut had come that loose. It was literally about 2 turns from falling off. And he hadn't even picked up that there was play on the back end of it. He said, oh, it just makes a whining noise when I ride. And that's the reason you should be doing your bolt checks all the time.
Yeah. There was a girl on the Basic Bikers page, and basically what happened with her was she didn't have it was a 125, and she didn't have it for that long. She felt that it wasn't stable when she was riding it, and what had happened, I think it was the swing arm bearings that had collapsed.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
You know, and I think it was only about 3 months old, and everyone's like, "That's not right. Get that back."
Yeah, we get a lot. We get a lot of bikes that are, that's why we take 3 weeks to prep a bike up, because a lot of bikes you do find have got issues straight out the box. So
Yeah.
99.9% of them are good, but you get the odd one that is an absolute dog, and it tends to spend more time in the workshop than it does back out with a new rider. But then, of course, it's like, oh, I want a new bike. No, you're allowed to, under trading standards laws, but I'm not that hot on trading standards, but as long as you do the repair and the repair is effective, or you've changed the warranty part, but 9 times out of 10 it's either going to be the carburetor or the electronic fuel injection unit, the pump. And we had one, we sold a second-hand bike about a week ago, and it rode absolutely perfect. I'm going to bring Andy in. Hi Andy. Slightly 3 parts to the wind after he's been in the shed for ages, but we sold this bike out and it rode absolutely fine. It was that Vegas that I had, gorgeous little cruiser bike, black and red one, and he'd literally gone about 2 miles. He said, "Oh, I filled up with fuel." He said, and it keeps cutting out on me and it's pissing fuel all over the road. And I went, "How far did you fill the tank up?" "All the way to the top." And I went, "No, you've brimmed your tank off. It's just blowing off
over the overflow.
It's coming out over the overflow, and you've got no vacuum. You've created basically a vacuum. You've got to have that air gap to get your vacuum in the tank." And he went, "Oh," I said, "Take it down the road, run it." And it was fine. After a couple of days, he phoned up and he went, "Oh, it's running all right now. Yeah, just don't fill your tank to the top. Leave an air gap at the top." But some bikes are different, you can brim out some bikes. My Quacker, my Ninja, hates being brimmed out, but I can fill the GTR to about 1 inch from the top and no issues at all.
Yeah,
you should check your bolts every time you ride. Because I check my bolts every time I ride, because I watch them fall out and I got to replace them. So.
Fake SC projects kind of a bike when it comes to the MOT, the whole garage turned around with the noise. Someone just winked and passed the bike. Brilliant one. My wife makes the same noise when I ride. Yeah, we met up with her today. It was like Andy was telling us about going around the corners coming down the Swiss mountains, and it's a 100-foot drop off, and his wife's leaning to the other side. She didn't want to look over the edge. Quick one. Pongster looked at a bike to buy it, an axle nut missing completely. The guy hadn't even noticed. Jesus hell. So I get a while in my bike. It was from the intercom. But yeah, we've got some few people on the feed tonight. We've got 18 in at the moment, so don't forget, people, give the thumbs up. We've only got 8 people that have clicked the thumbs up at the moment. Yeah, I've got no sound from Andy at the moment, so he's nattering away, but we can't hear you, Andy. So check your mic, mate. Quick one from Nitro isn't. I don't know what he's on about. Oh, sorry, and his sound isn't. Yeah. It's all right. I'm clicking for all these. I've got so many comments rolling down this side chat.
Well, see, I got my inner Z tonight. That's why I got my sunglasses on.
Yeah.
I fixed it.
You fixed it out yet?
I'm ready to party.
Excellent, man.
Curious Goose is in the room as well. So if you haven't checked out Curious Goose's channel at the moment, guys, him and Rhythmic Biker, they are on a roll to trying to get 500. So go and click on his channel and give him a follow as well. So and Howie's in as well. Nice to see you, Howie. Haven't seen Howie for a while. So we've got a lot of the old boys here. Obviously, nobody's going out tonight to celebrate New Year's Eve. So I think we're all locked at home with this COVID thing. So
left the bar to come down here. There's a bunch of revelers up there drinking me dry.
I literally got a hotel room right around the corner from like 20 bars.
Oh, brilliant.
There's a plan. There is a plan tonight. So since I spoke to you this afternoon, Rev, we've not left the bar.
Oh,
We've been up
jeez. Yeah. So, Simon's got all the family round tonight, so he said apologies. He wouldn't be on the feed, but he may pop in now and then. So
He sent me a picture of all the food he's put out. I'm going round there.
it's an idea. Well, the missus is in bed tonight, so she's got this tickly cough that I've got, but everybody's got the cough at the moment.
Where are you based just now, Drew?
What?
Where are you based just now?
We are in West Virginia right now.
Ooh.
We're back in the mountains with my people, my
Almost
hillbillies.
heaven there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, bring on the moonshine. Let's go.
I've been drinking that all afternoon.
We had a good time last night. You know, we did a little meet up. You know, I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram and stuff where like me and We Ride West Virginia was hanging out.
I saw that.
So I kind of started New Year's last night. I'm just continuing it today.
Excellent. There was COVID cough. I wish it was Howie. Yeah. And I'm struggling. I've been struggling this week. I've had this cough all bloody week. Can't get rid of it. Too many petrol fumes in the garage. That's after. Firefly.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's not bad, but I'll settle with my wine for the moment. So we've got a couple of boxes of the old Country Manor in at the moment. So work my way through.
I was drinking single malt last night. It was lovely.
Yes, I have Rory. Yeah, all good. So nothing was just apart from his chesty cough. So yeah, it's not what I think it is. Also, could have some time off of work.
She's got 2 lines. You need a week off.
Yeah, exactly. I can go and ride then.
Yeah, I'm ready to get 2022 started. I had enough of 21. It's time to get to the New Year party. Get 2022 started.
Better. I hope we got more freedom.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, 2020 killed. Well, luckily I got out because obviously my previous job used to be a DJ, and I was looking through my memories on Facebook. What was it for 2020? And I went final New Year's Eve show because New Year's Eve this time 3 years ago was my final show at Pinewood Studios at the hotel there. And I'd actually put a feed up, a post saying, thank God this is the last show, bored of music now, absolutely can't be asked to do it anymore. But looking forward to getting into the moto community. And I actually tagged in Missenden Flyer, Spicy 110 and Premises, because they were the first guys that I was chatting to on the motovlog community. So three years ago today was when I started it all off, motovlogging. But yeah, not bad for 3 years in. So as Spicy said to me, he said, you wait till you get 6 or 7 years in, you'll start getting a good following. He's at 98,000 at the moment. So
yeah,
he's looking to sort of bang his stuff up. But he's obviously not had a year with Lex Moto now. He's been out doing Triumph and Zero. A lot of the big firms have picked him up. And I'm getting the same now where people are just sending me stuff. Can you do a review on this? Can you do a review on that? 9 times out of 10, it's like, do you know what? Have your product back. I can't be asked to do a review because it's crap. And they went, oh, other people like it. Yeah, but I think it's crap. That's just my opinion. Do you really want me to put a review up saying it's crap? It's like Goodman's. No, let me go and buy a Goodman's camera. Zed's already been there and done that. But I did have those couple of cameras that Drift sent me. So obviously Andy won the competition last week. Andy had the Drift camera dropped off to him today, so he's charged it all up, figured out how to use it and get on the settings.
To ride all the way to you in the rain to get
that. But yeah, there's some good ones. Howie's off to get himself a Jack Daniels in a moat. Oh God, Paul's drinking sherry, old woman's drink. So, Nitro's got a cuppa, he don't drink. So yeah, oh bless him. Nothing wrong with a cup of tea.
Well, I gotta take a special shot tonight because unfortunately, today the actress Betty White. You guys know
Oh yeah, Golden Girl. Yeah,
the died this morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
the
a
wife
shame.
said to me, she went, "Oh, Betty White's died." I went, "Who's that?" She went, "Golden Girls." I was like, "Oh God!" But she was the in the oh God, what was it? Oh God, I think it was mother-in-law or something. Honey,
yeah,
what
she
was
was in
that?
Mother-in-Law.
Yeah, mother-in-law, wasn't it? Yeah, she played the gran in Mother-in-law. That was it. Yeah, with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was like, she's been going on about Golden Girls. She went, "Oh, it's the last of the Golden Girls that's gone." And she's like, but she had a good innings, 99. That's not bad.
Yeah, she did all kinds of stuff. She did stuff during World War II. Like, that's a long life, you know.
If I make it to 99, I'll be happy. So,
if I make it to 2022, we're doing good. So,
well, the last 2 years dodging the bullet, so we ain't doing bad.
Oh, I love that one. Rev Stewart, gentlemen, Peter North here, the old adult film stuff. This is where people go off and Google who is Peter North, don't they?
Yeah.
And spicy, yeah, spicy.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, Betty White died. Now the apocalypse starts. Well, I'm going to try a bit of this out now. So one of my neighbours gave me some of this. So we're on the old Italian stuff tonight as well.
You know, at first I thought you were drinking hand sanitizer.
It tastes like it.
As long as you can taste it, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Our local Aldi's got hand sanitizer at 99% alcohol. I'm taking Coke every time I go.
There was a good one. What was it? I think it was either Spicy or Premises put it up. And they'd gone into the local Starbucks and he'd gone to use the hand sanitizer. And she went, "That's not hand sanitizer. It's shots for the coffee." He was actually rubbing his hands with vanilla shots.
I just want to let Rory know, yes, Rev is drinking KY, just to let you know.
Yeah, lube, yeah. It's lubing the throat up well, so I ain't complaining.
Okay, now, whoa. Let's stop this conversation real quick.
Yeah, going downhill quick.
Well, yeah. We'll put the disclaimer up shortly.
Yeah, your disclaimer's coming real early in the video now.
There we go. Yeah, Simon did it to me last week because I had a black mark come up, copyright claim, and I'm like, what the hell's he done now? And he'd gone and played Slade, "Happy Christmas, Everyone." I'm like, yeah, right.
I think that's when the wife was calling you for the bedroom.
Yeah. But I've managed to obviously go in and re-edit it, and it's took out 1.5 minutes. It's muted 1.5 minutes of the feed. I'm like, it's like, yeah, rat back.
I'm just glad it wasn't me for once.
No, it's like, I didn't mind anyway.
But yeah, I just want to stop by, support like I always do.
Yeah, cheers.
Love
for
you
that.
guys. We're going to go get this kicked off, or as for me, I'm going to go continue this. Because it's going to be a long 2022. We got some badass stuff coming for the channel, and
looking forward to seeing it, buddy.
You better hang on. We got some awesome stuff planned out. But love you guys.
On behalf of myself and my family, Drew, I wish you and Crystal all the best for 2022.
Yeah, have a great 2022, Drew.
And we'll catch up. We'll catch up with you on the flip side, buddy.
Yeah, I love you guys. I love doing this. And we're going to keep it rolling in 2022, and it's going to get.
We all need to get our asses over to Sturgis and roll in with you. That looks one hell of a ride.
Wait until Sturgis this year. It's going to be even more of a ride. So.
And of course, don't forget to use the hashtag, guys.
Small Channel Mafia.
Small Channel Mafia, yeah. Bang that in on every video, and that will send it all to one community then as well.
Well, we were doing SEM, and then he hit me up. He's like, "You might not want to do SEM." So I went and looked. It's got some crazy stuff on there. I was like, "Okay, we're going to have to use Small Channel Mafia."
Right.
We don't want our stuff over here.
Let me just see what SCM is.
Oh, don't, you're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different shit on it. Like,
Oh God, yeah. Small channel Matthew. I've just seen what it is.
but yeah, appreciate you guys, and
All the best, bro.
I'll see you guys next Friday.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, have a good one, Drew.
Later.
Laters. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Drew, for dropping in. That was brilliant. I love when Drew comes in. If you haven't seen his last one, though, but have a look at that. He's coming down the road and just that long pass across the mountains where Crystal's got the camera and just looking over his shoulder with it. It's like, he does do some good camera work.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a joy to watch his stuff.
Yeah, let me bring the StreamYard link up again one more time for anybody that wants to jump in on this. Nitro or Howie or whoever's out there, if you want to, Paul, come and jump in on the feed. I don't know what he's drinking over there, Paul. He reckons he's on the sherry. Either that or a bit of the Old Spice, as they say. But
his nan might want that back.
Exactly. Is that a snowball you're drinking there, Andy?
No, it's what I call a Dog Danglies, which is the name of my bar. Pina colada. So it's Bacardi, Malibu, moonshine, pineapple juice, and coconut milk.
Oh, brilliant! Right, I've got a
couple. The shits all at the same time.
I've got a couple in the live stream. We're going to jump this guy in. Mr. Mooseman himself. It's Stevie, military biker. How you doing, Stevie?
All right, guys. Merry New Year and all that.
And we got Paul down the bottom as well. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Brilliant.
Hey, all right?
Yeah, good. Your Insta live, Stevie, that was great. Some of those tunes I hadn't heard for bloody ages. It was like, yay.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the thing, mate, now is just, bust while I'm driving, just bust out some quality tunes and just, try not to crash and kill myself. So, yeah. Good.
Yeah, minus 30, you were saying.
Minus 30, mate, yeah. It's pretty nippy at the minute.
Bloody hell.
Freeze your eyeballs, isn't it?
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'd almost have to put a jumper on there.
Yeah, no, it's a bit nippy, like.
Down here as well, we got Nitro. Good evening, Rory. Good to see you.
Hi, chaps. Not been on for a wee while, so I thought I'd show my face. So good to see you all, and nice to join in.
Yeah, excellent. I've got loads more. I'm paying this, so I've got another 4 slots available if anybody wants to jump in. So I paid the extra for the StreamYard. It was worth it.
Definitely. Did you get the deal that they were doing as well?
I got the deal as well. Yeah, jumped in on the deal.
I got a notification 24 hours before it ended, and I'm like, "Oh, get on that."
Have a bit of this as well, yeah. And we got Howie with us as well, the party animal. Hey, everyone's buying these new mics as well. It's like I've got mine on order, so I'm expecting mine shortly.
I've had this about 25 years.
Oh Jesus!
Jeez.
Yeah, I got one on Amazon. Obviously,
I wouldn't have been in. I'd have been in a club.
Yeah.
It's funny we were talking about that before.
Yeah,
it was the last time.
$39.99 with a shield and the boom.
It was the last time Hells was on. I was asking him what mic he had, and it was that one that I bought. I just love it. Absolutely love it.
It's a lot better than having to wear a headset then, and I wouldn't pick up the noise of this fan as well. So that was quite good. As soon as I
mean, the mic that I've got, you can set it up for like direction wise. It can do stereo, it can do omnidirectional, it can do conference, which it listens to all round. So now it's basically picking up my voice and my voice only. Because the kids are like bouncing about in the room next door because they're full of chocolate and sweeties.
Full of chocolate and Bucky.
No. Daddy's got Bucky.
There it is.
Oh, brilliant. So we got a full complement tonight. How's your week been, Howie?
It's been all right. Yeah, got over Christmas. Just survived it. I got no kit that anybody gave me for bike stuff, so I had to buy my own bit of kit. And I got that remote control for the GoPro 9 and 10. So I've been messing around with that, and it works on the bike pretty good. So I can strap it to the handlebar, and it will turn both of the good thing about it is it turns both the cameras on at the same time, so there's less faffing about when I'm editing for syncing up footage and stuff.
That's ideal. That saves a lot of hassle.
Oh God, yeah. God, yeah.
Yeah,
and I've got a what else? A late Christmas present. I've ordered myself another media mod. So when I'm faffing about with the cameras, if I've got one on the chin mount, if that goes a bit dead, I can stick it on the dash on the bike and plug that into the main thing. So if one's starting to die, you saves like taking it out of the media mod and popping it all back in and all that kind of malarkey. So yeah.
Tonight I've kind of just sorted out. I got the Purple Panda mic and I was testing it out on a DJI. My DJI, it uses it's called a Sonova mic adapter. DJI, for all their stupidity, didn't even design a mic adapter that worked on their own camera. It was a Chinese company called Sonova that they used to actually make their mic adapter. And it took a whole year of owning the camera before the mic adapter actually came out. So the difference between that and the GoPro is it has to be a TRS mic that it uses. So it has to be a TRS adapter that goes into the socket. So I was sitting with all the adapters and whatever tonight trying to work it out to get the audio good on it.
It's a pain in the ass, isn't it? It's just one thing after another. Gone are the years of just plugging something into the side of something, away you go. Now it's just
Crazy. Absolutely. Just put it on, so you have to buy another extra. You have to buy another piece.
Yeah.
That there was the best thing that ever came out, and I don't know why it gets stopped. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you'll know yourself how it is brilliant. It's like the noise cancellation through my Senna is absolutely perfect. So that
do you know what I started doing now, Zed? I've started with, because my wife isn't riding on the back anymore. I'm using her Senna. I'm plugging on the output of that, going straight back into the back of a GoPro with a media mod on the back of it. So if I talk through the Senna, it's going to the other one as if I was talking to the missus.
All right,
and that goes straight into the audio feed on the back.
So that gives you like two different feeds.
And really gutting up your kit and stuff like that for making other leads up and stuff. It works well.
So is that the lead that you get with the Senna that goes from 2.5 mil up to 3.5 with
the one that comes out the front of it? You know, you got like on the front. There's a little rubber thing you pull off.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'll show you.
There's your Vlogster. Yeah, I've just got one of them 360s, mate. It's the bee's knees, man.
Yeah, if any of you haven't seen, go on and look at Airshot Vlogster's recent videos with it. He's spent a wee bit of time choosing some really good positions on the bike, and it's looking absolutely brilliant, very, very steady and very clean.
I've got a question. How do you edit? How do you edit with the Insta360s? Because I've seen some people when they're doing their vlogging, you see like views from the front, views from the back. How do you actually put it all together so that it looks? Because it takes it all the image.
Yeah.
I mean, it's do an app. If you do it on the app, it will happen before you.
Yeah.
If you put like a bit of footage on there, it will give you suggestions of what apps you can use, and they do like editing apps. So if you wanted to do it, say you're walking along the street and then you wanted to change the background, but you don't jump or move, you continue at the same sort of thing, or even riding your bike.
Right.
Yeah.
You can do the background. The app will do it all for you. Then you just
can
take that
do
bit of footage, and then
you can do
whatever editing you're doing.
You can do motion tracking as well, can't you?
That's the other one that I've got. So that's the matching one to what Andy's got. So Andy's got one of these. That's the small drift Ghost.
I got the XL.
Yeah, and then the other one, which I keep in a little box behind me. Let me get the other feed. Let me go back to that one on a smaller, and then that's me normal little Insta. But I've got the old Insta.
Is that the one you've put a mount for on my bike, haven't you? Is that the one that fits
That's the one that goes across, and I tend to use that. It threads in there on a selfie stick, and I just put it across the back of the bike.
All right, okay.
They are good. It's an absolute nightmare to try and edit it out. I mean, it's if you want to do it, if you don't want to do use the AI that's in the app or the desktop, you can actually do it yourself, and it definitely takes some getting used to. It's like Vlogster said there, Chef Vlogster, that you have to reframe every bloody clip that you take. So I can imagine it taking, for instance, I go away for 2, 3, 4 days, whatever, on the bike. It's a long time to edit that, man, into your actual other footage, mixing up with the GoPros and stuff like that. So,
Okay, what does everyone use for doing all of their normal editing? Because I've got Power Director, and I've got to be honest, it's a load of rubbish unless you get the Pro version, and I haven't done that yet.
I've got Power Director Pro.
I use my one's Filmora, so I use Filmora, but I've got the paid version.
Filmora.
Yeah.
Make a note of that.
I use Magic.
So what I tend to do, Filmora to do my normal stuff, but on my videos, with all my videos, what I do is tend to either use clap tracks. So all I do is just clap my hands, and the camera will pick up the clap.
Oh.
Or I'll do 3,
Better
2.
than you picking up the clap, though, I suppose.
Yeah. True. Or 3, 2, 1 in. And then pause a second, then hey, how you doing? Welcome along to This Is RB Out. But then if I'm doing little bits of video, I tend to either tap the side of the camera so it picks up the click, or it picks up the bit of dispersion, or clap my hands, because then you'll get a spike on the audio, and you can line if you're doing multiple audios, what you can do is line the spikes up so when you're doing the talking and the feeds all pick up together. But with what I tend to do is edit the 360. There is a 360 app, so you can put your camera in. But on what you can do is actually go in on the feed, and you get a little box. So you'll do motion tracking. So you can track a car. So as you go past the car or the bike, the camera will actually roll round. So that's how I got a lot of the feeds when I do the Super Sausage Run. So it will track the camera. But then what I do is tend to track forward until I find something I want to find, and then just get the camera to just roll using the motion tracking.
That's one of the features I like about Power Director, and that's the multi-camera editor. Howie, I don't know if you've used it. It's like on your Power Director, you'll have it. It's like on the design suite.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I use Magic 6. It works pretty well.
Multi-camera? Is that on the Pro version?
No, it should be on the standard version as well. If you go up onto the top menu, it's in plugins, and it will say Multicam Editor. And basically, you can line up 4 cameras, and then what you do is you tell the system what camera you want to be your master volume, and then what it does is basically scans all your footage, and it lines all the audio up. And
no, I need the Pro version for that.
All right, is it on the Pro version?
Rev, I'm gonna have to shoot off. I've got one starting myself in like 7 minutes or so. So
that's all right. We'll come over and catch you in a while.
Don't you don't have to, mate, at all. I'm just doing one for all the guys over in the States and whatever.
All right, no worries.
Happy New Year, boys. Take it easy.
Happy New Year.
You've got one on the 2nd, haven't you, Stevie?
Happy New Year.
I don't think I have. No, have I?
I don't know, because it came up on mine 2nd of the 1st. So.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, I've set it right. Anyway,
have a good one.
Have a good one, boys. Happy New Year, mate. Take care.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So he's off to do his channel. Couple of because obviously with my the Filmora, I tend to pay for the full blown version. So I think it's around about just about short 200 quid a year. But for 200 quid a year, you get access to all the video clips and the film clips and all their online material. So rather than go in and pay like 2 quid for each clip that you want to take, you get access to absolutely everything that you want, which is how I managed to do the Christmas videos so darn quick and chuck all those Christmas slots in as well. So there is a lot more that you can get.
How did you do all those little animations?
They're all part of the Filmora downloads. They're all free download. If you pay for the full package, you get the free downloads with it.
Power Director Pros get that as well. It's called like a seasonal pack.
That's it.
So basically,
cool.
when the seasons come in, be it Easter, be it Thanksgiving, be whatever it is, they'll bring out a seasonal pack for it. Like the likes of 365's also got a bloggers pack. So that like any of my videos that you see, I'll have like a Facebook. It'll tell you my Facebook page, and it will come up with like a wee box that comes in with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's all part of the package. All I'm doing is just typing my details in. It's like you can self-edit the recent animations, so it's very, very slick once you get into it. And what I found about Power Director, there's a guy on YouTube that's called Power Director University. His name's Malik, and he comes out with hints and tips every maybe 1 or 2 days, and it's maybe how to do a transition, how to fade, how to do this, how to do that, and I find it invaluable because I go to it all the time, just like to learn something new.
It's very similar to the stuff they do for the one, like the Wondershare, because I've got Filmora X, which is the latest beta version. But with that, you get the YouTube videos. So the guy will show you. You go on YouTube and he shows you how to roll videos in, roll videos out, or do what they call screen swipes. But if you're doing quick blogs, you don't want to be doing too much on screen. You want to be boom. This is the bike.
Yeah.
This is what it does. You can make the fanciest video out with all the best animations in the world. If you lose that person in the first 10 seconds, it's not worth them watching it. So that's the easiest way to do it. Just keep it short, keep it simple, just stick to the points. Quick one from Code. He's got to run. Have a happy New Year, Code. Whatever you're doing, mate. Do ride safe out there, mate. If you haven't seen Code Gray's latest video, he's got a good one up as well. So I was trying to catch up with everybody's feeds today. I'm just having a quick look at. Andy, I've just seen a boob being flashed from the bar, and I'm down in the house with you lot. So
I'm off in a minute.
yeah. Then we'll go topless on it.
That's like 100 meters up the garden. I'm sure I saw a boob.
But was it a female one or a male one?
That's the question.
I'd be excited if it was a male boob.
Code, all the best, buddy. Take care. All the best
take care, Code.
Man.
All the best, mate.
Code. Happy New Year.
So how's your year been so far, Rory?
All right, thanks. Yeah. I'm kind of. It's been a bit of a blur, 2021, don't you think?
Yep, it has. Yeah. Very, very quick. I felt.
Yeah, the older you get, the quicker they go.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
But so looking forward, I suppose, to a new year and hope everything's going to be better for us.
Here's hoping if Jimmy Cranky doesn't shut us down again.
Oh God, tell me about it.
I would say to Rev. I mean, we're all looking forward to coming up to Scotland in June. And, they locked down tighter than frigging Spain. So let's hope that Jimmy Cranky keeps it open.
No, Andy, I think it will be fine by then. I don't think she'll get away with it, to be quite honest. The reason being is that basically we've done everything that they've asked, and now they're saying that this three-week circuit breaker will basically nip it in the bud. So if they turn around and say, no, it's not, we're going to have to extend it, I think there's going to be an uproar, to be quite honest.
I think the British government are going along the lines of, obviously, the Scottish government has shut down, the Welsh government has shut down. I think the British government are along the lines, well, look, it's not putting people in hospital. Let's herd this. Let's everyone get in Omicron and just have done with it, and let's see what happens. Yeah. The hospitals are not being over flooded at the minute. Let's just let people catch it, and hopefully it'll dilute itself. Perhaps they're thinking that way. But
I was watching a health advisor, and basically what they broke it down into hospital admissions and COVID hospital admissions. I think like over a 24-hour period, I think it was something like 245 COVID admissions. Now, he broke that down even further and said that there was only about 20 or 30 of them that were actually, they went to hospital because of COVID. The rest of them, they were in for something else and contracted COVID while they were there. So even the statistics, if you delve deep enough into the statistics, this strain doesn't seem to be as severe as the other ones, although it will be to some people. But I think it's the infection rate that they're worried about. But when they translate the information against the common cold or the flu, it isn't any more severe than that. They have to let it go sometime. They can't keep locking us down. That's the whole point. Is they have to say, listen, it is what it is now, and we can't do it anymore. You'll get an annual jag, go and play. That's it.
I think I was shocked as well as everybody else. I honestly thought after Christmas, us, we were going to go into lockdown as well. Surprised we haven't.
Well, the thing was, because obviously we had Boris up at the Open University, which is about a couple of miles from where we are. He was up there, and then you've got the testing centre. And it's not even a vaccination centre, it's a testing centre. And you had these anti-vaxxers come all walking in, stormed the place. Police done bugger all about it. And yet there was hundreds of press there, all taking photos. So they obviously knew that it was going to get stormed. But then you had this woman come in, and what did she take? A box of PCR testing kits. Well, if you're an anti-vaxxer, why the hell are you taking people's testing kits that need to be tested?
Yeah, that was disgusting. I saw that footage. And I actually do work for the NHS in the Department of Health and Social Care. And I was raging watching that video, to be honest with you. If you want to have a protest, that's your right. But yeah, that was disgusting. And you could see the smiles on their faces. They were taking glee in all the attention.
Yeah. And that's what I said to the missus. I just hope she catches COVID and goes, gets ill and dies from it.
I know.
I don't, you see, I'm the other way. I hope she catches COVID and give it someone she loves, and she has to watch them die from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we had that all in, because obviously Andy's a super sausage guy as well. But when they locked down in March last year,
super sausage guy, please.
As they know, is that an OnlyFans, Andy?
He's been up the bike calf, but me and Simon tend to hang out there, and obviously when Chris and Gail locked down last March, and then we went into lockdown for months and months. I think it was August by the time we got a running back up to the bike calf, and there was a huge rumour going around. It's like, and everyone said to me, "Bloody hell, you're alive!" And I went, "What do you mean?" He said, "Oh, there was a huge rumour going around the cafe that the guy with the green ninja had died from COVID." And I went, "Not me." So I messaged the other guy that's on Instagram that's got the matching ninja to mine, and he said, "No," he said, "I'm all right." Who was it? And when we actually went up to the bike cafe, oh bless Black Lab. When we actually got up to the bike cafe, it turned out it was a 24-year-old kid that went to the gym 3 nights a week, went to DW gym 3 nights a week, and it didn't drink, didn't smoke, caught it on the Sunday, and he was dead by the following Friday. They said it took 5 days to kill him, and he had it really badly, and he was only 24. And
that's seriously shocking at that age, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yet fit as a fiddle, nothing wrong with him, no underlying health issues, and it just boom, 5-6 days and you're gone. And it's like, and it just knocks home how nasty this bug is.
That's no, but the good news is, as Zed was saying, this is Omicron's definitely been proven, as they said from the very start in South Africa, who picked it up. It's they're looking at between 50 and 70% less likely to get you in hospital. But I'm not somebody who would say let's just open everything up and let everybody get it. Speaking as somebody who has 2 parents in their 70s, I'm always worried about them. Although it's less of a severe disease, there's a lot more of it. Scotland, for example, is getting, from the numbers I'm watching, 3 times more infections every day with this than they were previously. So even though there's going to be a less percentage of people in hospital with it, if it stopped my parents, if God forbid anything happened to them, getting in there, I would be distraught. So I'm erring on the side of caution as well. I don't think a circuit breaker is the end of the world. I can cope with not going to certain shops. I don't care about pubs or cinemas or nightclubs or whatever for 3 weeks. It's not the end of the world. And I think this is, though, I've read in quite a lot of articles that it's a really good sign that this variant is weaker. It's like the original SARS they were worried about 10 years ago. That evolved into a virus which was harmless to humans. And that's why it sort of disappeared quietly from the news. So fingers crossed.
It's like a disintegrating mutation, isn't it? It kind of sort of destroys itself as it mutates.
That's right. So that if it keeps doing it that way, we are in good shape. So everybody cross everything you've got. I think that's the way it might be going.
Yeah,
Lads, I'm
we've
gonna
always
shoot up and get
might
a
be
drink and catch you all later.
See you later. Cheers. So
I'm gonna have to blow. All right, you take care.
Right.
Happy
Have a
New
good
Year, all
night.
ya.
All the
All
best,
right, see
buddy.
you later.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
So where were we anyway?
Press the button. That's it. Just go. Come
you
on.
need to get some cough mixture in, Rev.
Definitely.
I've got cough mixture here. Believe it or not, I've got a
The
bottle of that.
alcoholic cough
Yeah.
mixture. Yeah, yeah, that'll work.
I've got a nice bottle of Napoleon brandy downstairs in a minute. So
Get that into you.
Yeah, that'll definitely
You'll
work.
forget about your cough.
You'll feel the warmth as it goes down.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I've had this cough for ages, absolutely ages. Too many years of dance smoke machines in nightclubs, too many fags, and yeah.
Just speak to your neighbour. She's trying to shrug a cough off. She's had for about 6 weeks.
Yeah. And then obviously, because what we do every morning, we fire all the bikes up inside the garage to warm them up for 10 minutes. So by the time you go in and wheel 36 bikes out in a closed environment, you are choking on. And everyone's like, oh, carbon monoxide doesn't get out your system that quick. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's really dodgy.
But it smells good.
Definitely. It's like if I'm running the bike round the lockup when I come round, the wife's like, get to a bath. You need a shower. You're stinking. You need all the smell of the bike, but I love it.
Yeah, you can't beat the smell. It's like when we used to come home from the old speedway meets.
Oh God, aye.
Yeah, and used to stink of that smell of gravel.
Yeah.
BTX.
Yeah, and then you stink of what was it? The old
methanol that ran, wasn't it?
Methanol, pure methanol in them, and we used to run
it's a smell you'll never forget.
Yeah, and the Castrol R race fluid as well.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
That's what I miss about the old two strokes, the smell of Castrol R.
Yeah. We had
Wimbledon. Wimbledon was great fun. I used to spend many a day there when I was a kid.
Because we had, because obviously it's my dad's birthday today, so he, believe it or not, he's 74. But I stuck a feed up on the Facebook. I was going through all me photos, and I said to my dad, I went, oh bloody hell, and I found a photo. There we are. Let's just see if the camera will pick this up. So there we are. Let me hold that up. So just about see that. There we go. So me on the very left as you look at it. So me on the bike. That's on a BSA Bantam. That's me young blonde-haired brother. He's on a Tiger 100. Then my dad's on a Road Rocket 650, and then my cousin George, and that's a Alan Rickman racer. That's Kawasaki 900 from the 1970s. And my mum said, "Where did you find that photo?" And I went, "I've got loads of them. I've got loads of old bike photos." And she went, "Oh, great!" But my dad's seen it, and he went, "Jesus Christ, didn't I have long hair back then?" I went, "Yeah, you ain't got none now, though."
You're showing your age there with a black and white photo.
I know, yeah. I think I was I've got to be about 12 there, about 10 to 12 there.
Used to ride chariots to high school.
Yeah. I tell you what, we were chatting about our local school with one of the guys that was round. And I said we had this cracking art teacher, but she always used to wear a low cut top. So what we used to do, she had one of these little old French foreign cars, and we used to go out. We used to stand behind the bike shed and have a quick puff on your cigarettes. But the old days, you had the old silver paper that went round the top. So we used to pull her plug leads off and stick silver paper up the plug caps. So when she come to start her car, it wouldn't start. And he was like, "Do you want to handle your car, miss?" "Oh, I know about engines." And you used to get underneath, pull the silver paper out, put the plug leads back on. "Try your car now, miss." And she was like, "Oh," fired it up, starts first time. "Can I get a kiss on the cheek?"
Yeah.
We used to do that all just to get a kiss off the art teacher. It was like, well, some of the stuff we were chatting about, or when we used to have, we used to have a motorcycle club up there as well, run by the headmaster, and we used to hammer round the Redgrass. Well, Andy will know Leon's school. Hammer round the Redgrass and just carve up the Redgrass track with the motocross bikes, doing rooster tails with the rear wheels. That was all the fun. Or cut up the rugby field, just hammer across the field and rooster tail with your motocross bike.
Cool. We used to have red grass. That was awful stuff to slip over on and You used to
God, yeah.
carve your knees up something chronic, didn't you, on that stuff?
Ah, the man's in the room, Mr. Cole. That's evening, Cole. Let me put the side chat up for you, mate. There we go. There's a link up on the side link if you want to jump in on the stream, Cole. Cole's latest one, he's done a really good. Cole's banging out some really good videos. His last one, he did a bit of talking on it, but he tends to do a ride with a bit of music. But God knows where he finds all these lovely country roads, because there's some really good roads that he goes down. I think the last one he did it over a mill with a stream, and it was like, a little bridge and everything. It was really good. Because Andy was showing me one, he sent me one on the WhatsApp group of one of the Scottish roads, and it's like these little passing places where he said, like, you've got 9 or 10 bikes there. He said, you've got to get the cars to pull in. He said the bikes have got no chance of pulling in, but Christ almighty, some of those Scottish roads are great.
Yeah. Yep. There's a few roads in and around Loch Lomond. If you can imagine, Loch Lomond sits on the right hand side, and there's a wee village. Well, you've got Arica and you've got Tarbert that sit right next to each other. And if you head to Arica, you go up the Rest and Be Thankful, which then takes you into Inverary, and from there you can go Oban, Glencoe, or you can go right into Tyndrum, and everything loops with each other. So you can ride the same roads and you can do it 3 or 4 times, but different directions, and the trip will be different every time because of the way you're coming into the corners and whatever. We're blessed, to be quite honest.
Zed, have you ever been over, talking near Loch Lomond, have you been over what was the closed road at one point for the nuclear access over to Gairloch?
That's oh man, I used to go over it with my dad. My dad used to work in Coolport, and I actually used to work in Coolport myself as well. We used to build ship deck machinery for the Navy, so we actually built the docking capstans for the submarines. So we spent a good amount of time. And for the life of me, is it the Glenfruin Road? Is that it?
I can't remember. I just know people refer to it as the military road. And for everybody else watching who won't know that, it was built for access to the nuclear facility for the submarines at Coolport here. And it's basically money, no object. This road was built for the military across the hills. It is just like a roller coaster. It's got gravel runoffs in case the nuclear warhead carrying lorries brakes failed. It was just built as well as they possibly could. And I've driven it in a few of the sports cars that I've had. I've never had any big bikes, but I can imagine on a bike it would be fantastic. Yeah. It's like a roller coaster.
I mean, to let you understand, is like when Coolport was getting built, my dad basically was in a porta cabin. He was the security. This was before the Admiralty moved in. So basically it was him, another guy, and like if I was off school or whatever, I would basically be sitting in this porta cabin for the number of days. And then what would happen was the guys would come in and start building the road into the actual site. Now, over that week of holiday, they maybe built about 100 meters of road. Then this guy came out with a ruler and he measured every single curbstone, and he marked every curbstone that was too low, and they had to come in and reset them. Everything about the place had to be absolutely perfect. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, the roads like that, and I know that you if you stop on the road, the military police will question you if you're not meant to stop on it.
Yep.
It's an interesting place, apart from being a fun road, seeing all the military installation, the like watchtowers, cameras. It's interesting from that point of view. But as a road, if any of you other guys ever come up to Scotland, the military road from Loch Lomond over to Gairloch, it's phenomenal. It's really good.
I remember it was in Coolport. It was during the winter, and what happened was we were installing the docking capstans. Basically, there was 8 docking capstans, 2 outside. Then there was 6 inside, and then there was a main docking capstan at the back, which was about 60-ton pulling power on it, and it pulled the submarine in, and the ones down the sides basically kept the submarine level. when it was coming in. So we were there to basically take them off the lorry, bolt them to the ground, and then set them to work. Now, a guy came out with this meter and started metering all the paintwork, and he was out with a black pen. There's not enough paint there. There's not enough paint there. There's not enough paint there. So we had to continue painting these gearboxes until they qualified it and passed it. Then we did a test, and what we did was put steel cables around them and pulled all the paint off them when we were lifting weights up and down. And then we had to paint them again.
My God.
But while we were there, I mean, like at the time, I'm only an apprentice, so I was 17, 18 possibly when I was there. And I'm painting at this gearbox, and all I heard was bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. And it was a guy from the SBS, which is a special boat service. Apparently, they attacked the base constantly. They attacked the defences, and what he'd done is the hangar door on the floating jetty. He'd swam underneath it. It was just like it was James Bond stuff. It was just like a wee aqualung with two wee tanks like that. And he'd went underneath it and come out and climbed out with his guns on. And was just like, all right.
So they're always testing out the defences. So that's pretty interesting stuff.
It was a formidable place to be when you've got that name badge and it's got that wee white disc on it. And you've basically said, if that disc changes colour, you need to get out.
Yeah.
There's no point, but I mean, it was quite a place.
Oh, someone's gone. We've lost. We lost Nitro. He's disappeared on it. Oh, he's back. There he is. He's back.
So I had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah, the last one we did was, oh God, what was it? Top of Scotland was Lossiemouth.
Lossiemouth,
yeah, naval base. We did the sergeant's mess there in 1987. And oh God, what a drive, because we did the Scotland tour. So we did up sort of the east coast, across the top, done Lossiemouth as the last naval base, and then we drove from Lossiemouth all the way back home. But I think it took us 12.5 hours to drive home with but I come home with a bent van slightly, because I think it was is it the A1 you come down, or the A6 or something, the main road right through the Highlands of Scotland from Lossiemouth. And we're barreling down the road doing about 50 mile an hour. And as I come round the next bend, there's a stag stood right in the middle of the road.
Yep, that'll do it.
And I bent the van slightly.
By the A9.
That's it, the A9, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Bent the front of the
You'd have been better going central. Central up to Inverness, and then hanging a right at Inverness, going across that way.
But I didn't do any rad damage. I bent all the front of the bonnet in. But the only thing was, we come back and we had to phone the windscreen company. He went, "You've got a bloody great hole in the middle of your windscreen." I went, "Yeah."
It's a horn.
Yeah, it was the horn of the stag's horn, went straight through the windscreen, bent the van, and the insurance company would not pay out. He said, "Did you report it to the police?" I said, "We just carried on driving." "No, you should have stopped and reported it."
Yeah. That's it. Any accident should be reported, shouldn't it, really? So, yeah.
But we had one, because we've got Woburn Wildlife Park. You've got the big Woburn Park. And running right through the middle of Woburn is a road that goes up to sort of, Flitwick and up that way. But you've got the local centre parks as well. So everyone uses that road through Woburn to go to centre parks. And one of my mates, he runs the local milk float. He's got a little electric milk float. He said, there I was, 3 in the morning. He said, I come barreling down the Woburn Hill, doing 35 mile an hour in my milk float, and I hit a deer. I said, "What did you do with it?" He said, "I moved all the milk crates about, made a gap down the middle." He said, "I lobbed the deer down the middle and put the milk crates around it." He said, "I dropped all my milk off." He said, "I went to the butcher's in Woburn." He said, "Do you want a deer?" And they went, "Why is that?" He said, "I've hit one with my milk float." And they went, "Yeah." He said, "We'll give you 100 quid for it." And he went, "Oh, brilliant, 100 quid in my pocket." He said, "All right, thanks very much for that." He said, "If you're doing your milk run daily," he said, "can you see if you can hit another one, because we're running out of venison?" He said, "I tried for 4 weeks to try and hit another deer, but they got wise to it."
I think they get out the road on a milk float usually.
Yeah. Bless him. I'm like, oh.
the milk float.
Quick one. We've got. Have you been to the Lead Hills on the bikes? Ed, he's saying.
I'm just replying just now, just like Ayrshire sort of been quite a lot of places that I've wanted to go to for quite a wee while, and the Lead Hills is one of them.
Yeah, it's really good.
Some cracking photo opportunities and that, so it's definitely one that's on the list.
It would be great for your videos for sure. Again, I just ride the 50s bikes, so too small to be going down there, but I've driven it, and yeah, there are some fantastic roads down there.
Yeah.
And it's only 40 minutes from the central belt here, so
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's not bad.
Where is it you are, Rory? I'm just outside Paisley.
All right, I'm in Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
I used to work in Coatbridge, polystyrene or a plastics factory. It's McAlpines, and I transferred through to where I am now. So.
Right. Aye, not too far along the road. I used to pass Paisley all the time. I used to go out with a girl from Bridge of Weir, but let's not even go there.
Glasgow, guys.
Was that Andy?
What was it?
How far is that from Glasgow?
Hamilton, what's that, about 20 miles, is it, Rory?
Yeah, maybe 15. It's not so. If the motorway's clear driving wise, or if you have a decently big bike, it's half an hour.
Yeah.
And then Zed's even closer than me.
Yeah, Glasgow Airport, I'm basically on the flight path. I'm if I leave my house, I could be at Glasgow Airport in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just on the bypass and then off at the next cut off. That's me there.
I like that straight bit of
5 minutes at normal speed and then 2 minutes at ZZR speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of the M8 motorway outside Paisley where Zed stays, which used to be the runway for Glasgow Airport a long time ago. Yeah. So it's the straightest part of that motorway. Do you know the bit?
Just at Hillington.
Yeah, so it's good to give it the beans down there. I used to have
definitely.
Used to have a 400 horsepower BMW 335.
Yeah.
And obviously, I wouldn't really go above 70 because I don't do that sort of thing. But if you're talking, the wee small hours in the morning, stuff like that, I had a lot of fun in those stretches.
Yeah, definitely. This time of year, like when I worked in Coatbridge, when you're heading on that part of the motorway, the sun just sits right at it as the sun's coming up, and then when you're driving home and the sun's setting, it's right on. It's a nightmare. The sun's right in your eye. Going to work and coming home.
Yeah,
I'm glad I don't do that journey anymore.
Yeah. You don't work in anything to do with hydraulic rams, do you? In Hillington.
No, but I have sent a lot of hydraulic rams to companies. Aye.
Because my brother works out there. I'm just trying to remember the name of it. Is it HPS?
It could, it could. Well,
maybe. I'm on a bit of a tangent here, but that rings a bell. That's what my brother does out there. Anyway. He's up your neck of the woods every day. So he's through all the M8 traffic and all that stuff.
Before I worked in Coatbridge, I worked through an NEC Semiconductors, in the semiconductor plant through in Livingston. So that was a 44-mile journey there and a 44-mile journey back. And I did that at the time that they were raising the Kingston Bridge. And as well as them raising the Kingston Bridge, they were also doing all the work at Showcase Cinema through at Coatbridge as well. So I was getting double hit with traffic. There were sometimes I finished in Livingston at 7 a.m, and it was 11 before I was getting home. Off a shift. It was brutal, but it had to be done.
That is brutal. So are you nearby your work now? Do you work roundabout Paisley?
I could spit on my work, unfortunately.
Right.
My work's in Johnson, so I actually stay in Linwood, just outside Paisley. So basically just over the back road. I've got
excellent 2
minutes and I'm there. I used to commute on the bike. That was one of my main reasons why I got the bike. Was Coatbridge commuting was for filtering through the traffic. And it was ideal for that. But then I moved to Johnson, so I've got a ZZR 1400 just now, and you have to sit and warm up for 5 minutes before you ride it, just to get all the oil and that up to temperature. So it's not worth it for a 2-minute ride, you know what I mean?
I watched your video on changing the battery, and obviously not owning a ZZR, thinking, why am I watching this video? But hell,
I know. I saw your comment. I laughed at it. It was like a BMW rider watching a ZZR.
It's weird what you sort of click on and watch. I mean, you subscribe to loads of people, and then you'll click on and watch someone change the power, and it's just like, you know what? It's either that or watching Boris bullshit on telly, and I just.
And they see at the end of the day that the changing of the battery was incidental. It was just basically a wee bit wishing everyone the best.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, a lot of people in the same situation as yourself. You know, I mean, I'm lucky that I've got my sort of work, or my studio, my sort of workshop, if you like, in the back garden.
Yeah.
I've got power, I've got lights, I've got heating in there. But obviously, a lot of people keep their bike in a garage where you need to take your battery off and throw it on an optimizer.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and I just thought, you know, it's weird what you actually watch on YouTube and on people's channels.
And Rev's got the GTR. It's like he's like, says, I wish it was as easy to take the battery out the GTR, because I mean he's like tank off, seat off, and whatever, because it's buried.
It's like my mate's got one. He had a 990 KTM, and the battery was buried.
Yeah,
right underneath it, and it was a ball ache to get to.
Yeah,
I know on the BMWs they used to be right under the tank and everything else, but now it's just access from a panel on the side. But lucky enough, I got an optimizer port, and I can just plug the optimizer into the DIN port.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's he has trouble charging his KTM's down the garage because that's nowhere near his house.
Yeah, and the KTM's, are they V twins? Like,
yeah, he had a 990, then he bought the 690, which I promptly stole as soon as he turned up at my house, not even having a license, about 8 years ago. And I said to him, you know, I stole it for 10 minutes, shot off around the streets, come back and said, that's it, I'm doing my license. And 4 weeks later, I'd passed and bought my own bike. But now he's got the 1290, and that's a little bit easier to get to. But the 990, the battery was buried.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, like, it's a lot of them are designed on CAD programs. So within the CAD programs, there's packaging software which basically optimizes the packaging of whatever it is that you're designing, and they'll put the battery in whatever position gives them the best center of gravity, and so on and so forth. And some of the positions that software can come up with defies logic for the end user. It really does. Rev, I was just talking about the GTR. You were talking about how it was easy to get the ZZR battery out.
One panel, and it's straight right under the right hand panel. Undo the screws, pop the battery out, job done.
It's 4 volts.
Balance, stuff like that. And I mean, the GSA I've got now is so well. I mean, it's 268 kilos wet, but when you get it upright and balanced, you can hold it with one finger.
Yeah, my mate,
it's so clever.
Yeah, my mate's got a GSX R1000. It's a K3, and basically he's like, let me get a shot of your, get a shot of your bike. So we swapped bikes, and one of the things that he was amazed with is when he picked my bike up off the center stand, because the ZZR, the weight's all low down. So when you lift the bike off the center stand,
BMW is so low down.
Yeah.
As soon as the bike's literally moving and you can take your feet off the floor, the weight just disappears.
It disappears, and it's only when you're braking that you start to. If you're coming hot into a corner, you're braking. That's when you see it.
Yeah,
that's
I mean, being a short ass, obviously, I spoke to Rev this afternoon. You know, I've got the low frame, and I put the seat in low, which means I can flat foot. Obviously, when it's 2 up with luggage and the missus on there, you know, you're talking, you know, 1/4 of a ton plus.
Yeah,
that's a lot of weight to hold up. And if you're on a slight camber and you're not quite flat-footed, or you're not quite there, it's on the floor.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of bike manufacturers now are realizing that the average height of a bike riser isn't 6'2", 6'3" with long legs.
Yeah.
You know, and they're making so many options for bikes now. They're all becoming more accessible for everybody.
Well, I mean that's it, but you could flip that on its head as well. It's like obviously like the nature of the bike that you've got. You're in the category of like the adventure tourer, which is by nature a taller bike. Now, if I'm to go into like the hyper bike or the super sports bikes that are all designed around Japanese riders, I'm 6'3", so me trying to cram into that small package. That's why I like the ZZR, because it's stretched over a longer wheelbase. And that's why I wish bike manufacturers would give you maybe 2 frame options, a slightly stretched frame and a smaller frame for like smaller riders. I think that would be a better idea.
It's a different height. I mean, at 6'2", you could have a different inseam for someone else at 6'2".
Yeah, 100%.
I'm about 5'9", and my inseam is tiny at 28. But someone else can have a 32 and not need a different thing. And I think manufacturers need to, a lot of them need to come on and like you say, BMW now are doing so many different height options. I think the average, it's 890 millimeter, 890 millimeters to 800 and whatever 900 centimeters height. And that's just way too high for most people, but they've brought it right down. But like you say, again, on the flip, if you get a sports bike that's quite short, you're hunched up like a baby in a fetus.
That's it. I'm like a gazelle, do you know what I mean? I'm all legs and that.
Yeah, see, because I've got a 32 inside leg, and when we did the new LXR, Lexmoto LXR that came out, they did the standard LXR. And then they brought out the LXS, which was the sporty one with the MT colours. But that's got the underseat exhaust. But it was a difference of 790 on the small one to 820. Now, I can flat foot the 820, no problem, and ride the LXR great and chuck it into the corners. But when I sat on the LXS, my knees are right up on the tank and my elbows were catching the tops of my knees turning corners. And I said to him, I do not like this bike. It's better for a shorter person. But then we had a lot of people go, oh, yeah, but I've got a 28 inside leg and I can, because you haven't got bloody long legs like I have, but I still can't flat foot a BMW. Our BMW we've got in our GS 1200, that thing, I'm on tiptoes trying to get that out onto the yard every morning. But yeah, I can sit on my GTR, flat foot it and roll that straight out, apart from the heavy weight. But when I went to, before I did that, I went to have a look at an Africa Twin because I've always wanted an Africa Twin. And I went over to the local, I went to Grafton's, saw Sue up at Grafton's. I said, I've always wanted to get an Africa Twin. She went, go and have a sit on the bike, but let the boys hold it. I had 2 at the front, 2 at the back, holding it. Chuck your legs over. I'm on tiptoes. She went, yeah. She went, now lean the bike over. And as soon as I leant that bike over, I lost it. And I had to step off the bike and let them hold the bike for me. And he said to me, it's not the bike for you. And then a year later, they go and bring out the short seat Africa Twin. And that's got an 800 mil low. The lowest setting on that is 800 mil, and you can actually flat foot the damn thing. And I'm like, damn it!
Yeah.
But I'd already.
Mine's really adjustable. I've got it set at about 800 at the minute. If I put the seat on high and the suspension high, it goes up to about 850. And literally, the sake of 50 millimeters from flat foot to tiptoe is so much. It's only like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and you're like, the difference between being able to hold that bike upright while your pillion's getting on and you've got the weight on the bike or you're on a slight camber, a 20 grand plus bike going slam on the floor is literally, the height of your little finger. It's fucking crazy.
Exactly, yeah. But it's out of all the bikes that I've ridden, I still reckon I made a good choice getting the GTR. Because obviously watching Zed and his ZZR, and I've always wanted a ZZR, but I missed out on the one that I wanted. It was just that happened to be that the GTR that I got come in, it had got all the bells and whistles on it, and I'm like, oh, for the money, it was a damn good investment. So I said to him, right, I'll have the GTR.
See, to be quite honest, see if I had probably test ridden the GTR before the ZZR 1400, I'd have probably got it myself. It was it just so happened. Now, the story about my ZZR was I wasn't even intending on buying a bike. Now, how many times have you heard that? I had a ZZR 6. I had a ZZR 600, and I had a ZZR 600, and basically I was selling it, and the boy who was wanting to buy it basically said to me, "Put an MOT on it, and I'll take it off your hands." So I owned a ZRX 1200S at the time, and I absolutely loved it. It was a muscle bike. It was upright. It was basically everything that I wanted. And I was starting to pick away at all the wee bits that I wasn't happy with. And so I took the ZZR 600 into my local dealerships, the AMR Motorcycles in Renfrew, and I handed the bike over to Alistair. So I'm sitting down, and I happened to turn my head, and the ZZR 1400 sitting there. And then I stood up and I walked around it, and I'm thinking to myself, this is absolutely mint. It doesn't need a thing done to it. So I basically asked the lassie behind the counter, is like, right, what's the deal with the bike? And she's telling me all the details about it. She actually put me in contact with the guy who used to own it, who traded it in. So I got speaking to him, and he told me everything that he had done to it. He showed me all the information on it. And I went home, and my wife's like, what's up? And I'm like, shaking my head. I'm like, oh, I've seen a bike. She's like, right, what's the story? So in the meantime, what happened was, see the ZRX? The ZRX had two different versions, the R and the S. I had the S, which was a half fared. And a lot of people were buying the S and converting it to the R, which was the Eddie Lawson race replica. So what was happening was the S was getting rarer. So the price of my bike had went up £1,000 within like 12 months. So when I went to get a price on it, the trade-in value was £1,000 more than I paid for it. So it was a no-brainer. It was time to pull the pin on it, and that's what I did. So that's how I ended up. That's how I ended up with the ZZR 1400. It was totally by chance.
I've always said to Simon, you know, I would have edged towards the GTR if they'd have kept it up and modernised it and brought it up to date with the rest of the bikes, with the active suspension, the digital screens, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, they stopped making it. It's like the Yamaha, you know, they stopped their touring bike. Kawasaki have stopped their big touring bikes like the GTR. And you just wonder where it's going. The only choice you've got really for big two-up touring bikes are the adventure bikes. And it's a shame really, because where they could have gone with a 1400 GTR. I mean, I had the Versys 1000, and if they'd have put a 1400 GTR engine on that and made it shaft drive, I'd have bought it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But there is the rumor of the ZX15 next year and the GT15. So
it'd be nice. I know BMW, not next year, but in 2023, they're bringing out the 1300. I mean, I got the 1250. They're bringing out the 1300. But the difference is, in power, I don't know. But I know it's going to have active cruise and stuff like that. But I'm not sure about the redesign of the front end of the bike. But like you say, it's very limited, and I don't know whether COVID's had an effect on that, because I used to like going to the bike shows, seeing what's out there, sitting on the bikes, trying the bikes. I've not been able to do that for 2 years, and I don't know whether that's impact on the design of bikes, what they're bringing out and what they're stopping.
I think a lot of the bike manufacturers are limited to parts just now as well. I mean, there seems to be like a supply and demand issue.
There is. I was told if I didn't buy the bike that I bought, when I bought the bike I bought, it's a 2022 model but pre-registered.
Yeah.
So it's the latest model, but it's all pre-registered. If I wanted to buy a new one, BMW told me minimum of 6 months, because the factories that made the suspension and everything else were completely destroyed in the floods.
Yeah.
And they can't get parts. So there was a 6 months waiting list for new bikes from BMW.
You even look at the car market. The car market just now, where car dealerships are paying over the odds for second-hand cars because new cars aren't coming onto the line as fast as they would like. The
second-hand market has exploded
through the roof. Aye, absolutely. And a lot of
I originally went to look at a second-hand bike, less than a year old, and it was 18.5 grand. Had nothing on it like mine's got on it. None of the extras, none of the heated seats, nothing. And by the time you threw luggage on it at 1,500 quid, it put the bike 500 quid for a second-hand bike, just under £19,500. He said, "I can do you a new one for better value." How's that possible?
Yeah. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Very true. Because obviously we were looking at Simon's bike, because obviously Simon was down at the cafe with Andy today. And I said to him, Simon, you ain't got your crash bungs round your bike. Yet my one came with them on it. Obviously mine's all loaded with all the bells and whistles.
I said Simon don't crash as much as us.
Yeah, true. I haven't dropped it yet anyway. But of all the bikes I've got, when you've just sort of like, you've got the heated grips and you've got the heated seat and you've got all that, you've got your dial-up suspension on the back, so you can preload everything up. And you've got a full touring kit on there. It does everything I want it to do. So I'm happy with my choice anyway.
Everyone's got their own taste. I mean, when I first started riding, it was nakeds for me. I love naked bikes. I love the 650. It was naked. You could throw it about. You really had to ride it and think about your gears. Then I went on to the 1000, and I started to steer more towards the adventure bike. I like being high. I like being see over. I like the torque BMW's got. I mean, it's got so much torque, and it just keeps coming from 0 revs right through to full range. So I'm that way inclined, where some people are more sports tourer.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the ZRX. That seemed to be like the best of both worlds. It was obviously an upright bike. I had Renthal straight bars on it as well, so I had like quite wide bars on it, and you could flick it into corners. It was so easy, but the riding position, you were up over the top of the cars, so your viewing angle in all roads was absolutely brilliant. But the only downside to that bike was it was a 5-speed gearbox, and basically it maxed out at the top end. To get to the top end was exciting, but you had to do a camshaft conversion and a gearbox conversion to get the top end up, which I wasn't prepared to do. Otherwise, I think it'd have been a perfect bike if I had that.
The thing is, I mean, I've done a lot of touring. I hate riding in this country. It just drives me nuts. I've only been riding 7-8 years. I've done 12 countries. I've done 50,000 miles around Europe, and I've always said that the fun is between 30 and about 80. When you're on the twisties and you're in the mountains, second gear, third if you're lucky. And that's where the fun is. And if you've got a bike that's happy to play in them revs, and it doesn't matter whether you're on a 125 or whether you're on a 1400, you're going to have so much fun.
Yeah,
as long as you keep that in.
Ayrshire Vlogster was running a camping weekend, and we were down near the borders. Basically, we started off near enough. We headed down towards Stranraer, and then basically across the bottom and back up again. And a lot of it was little sort of twisty roads. And we had anything from my bike 1400 right down to a 125. And the boy that was on the 125 was more than capable. He could do the same speeds as us round the corners. He's like his
once you get a bike on some real twisties, that's it. There's a Pacific Road we went down like a couple of years ago, and actually it's the first trip Simon done with me. We went down to we were staying in the Black Forest in Germany, and we went down to the Rhine Falls. Now there's a road from the Rhine Falls that runs from northern Switzerland up into the bottom of Germany. It's about 14 miles. And if you can get out of second or third gear in 14 miles, you're going too slow. It's one of them roads. And it's such a phenomenal road. And I've got the wife on the back. I've got all the luggage in the boxes. And I've come up behind a bloke. It was a German guy on a Jits 1000. And I thought, we're going to have some fun here. And we're both knee down. And I'm on the back. We're touching speeds of 120 in third gear. We're going round hairpins. I've got a bloke behind me on another bike, absolutely crying because this bike, he had all the bike leather and he was going for it and his knee was down. And I got my missus banging on my back going, stop, this isn't going to end well. And I've come off the throttle. I've given it probably 20 seconds, and I thought, right, you know, she's really giving me an ear roll here. I better slow down. I've got sparks coming off the rear pegs that she's on, and she's not happy. And we've met this guy. He stopped up the road at some traffic lights, and he's done a double take because he just did not realise I had a pillion on the back, and I'm sitting on his tyre with my Versus, and we're just doing silly speeds. And it's just fun, and it's just second and third gear, and it was all the way. There wasn't one straight bit of road for 14 miles. And there's so much fun you can have. And I think it would be the same no matter what bike you're on, whether you're on a 125.
Oh, you've muted yourself, Andy.
I Labrador trying to climb on my lap.
He's muted you again. Blame the dog.
Rev, I'm gonna push on. I'm gonna go over and have a wee chat with the military biker and that.
We're gonna start winding up soon anyway, because I've got the neighbours coming round in about 15 minutes or so. So we're gonna have a little bit of a get together for the midnight bash, and the fireworks are due to start as well. So we'll give it another 5-10 minutes or so.
No worries, mate. I'm gonna head just now, buddy. All right. So
yeah, all right. I might catch you across on Stevie's channel in a while.
No worries, my man.
All right,
everyone, take care. All the best.
Have a good 2022, mate.
Happy New Year, and I hope
have a good night.
It will well for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. All the best.
Have a good one, Stu. Take care, Stu.
Bye bye.
Well, I'm going to do the same, RB. I'm going to head off, and we'll catch you soon, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. You take it easy, Nitro, and we'll see you 2022, mate. Have a good one.
You too. All the best, everybody.
All right. Take care, Rory.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Rory. Take care. You're still muted, Andy.
Yeah, that's right. My son just walked in and he was waffling, and the dog was growling at his own shadow for some strange reason.
You can always blame a lab. But now,
he thinks he's a foot wide. He's not. He's an 8-stone Labrador that just jumps on you and thinks he's so tiny. It's unreal.
Oh, bless him. Right.
Gareth as well, Rev. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. Gareth just turned up in the room. Hurry up, Gareth, if you want to jump in, because we're only on for about another 5 minutes or so. We're going to go and jump over on Stevie's channel in a minute, mate. So might catch you over there.
I'm going back up the bar to find out what that boob was all about, because I really missed it. And I'm pretty sure it weren't the wife.
You hope we weren't the wife.
If it is, I hope they all paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take the money. More luggage for the bike. Have yourself a good one, Andy, anyway.
Yeah, all the best, guys. Everyone,
right.
Have a happy New Year, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, see you on the flip side, mate. Have a great 2022. All right, cheers. Gareth's just off in the pub. Just want a big thank you to everyone that's been on the stream tonight. Been absolutely amazing. Thank you very much to everybody that's been on. Just ends up for me to say Military Biker is on. Happy New Year, Gareth. So Burning Gas, Hauling Gas, go check his channel out. We're going to have a quick 5-minute break or so, and then we'll catch you all up on the Military Bikers channel. We'll take the year out. Whatever you're doing, have yourself a great New Year's Eve. Do be careful if you are drinking. Don't go driving as well. We will catch you all on the flip side in 2022. Don't forget, watch out for the tour with the boys. That's coming up around about the beginning of June. Until then, I'll be signing out, saying be well, ride safe, and until next year, it's a big goodbye from me.